Smart 24, driving business.
We have left 15 minutes here, and Pedersen Mumbere is joining us this morning to discuss more amongst the key issues, looking back at our top weekly stories and trends here in relation to the world of business. But as we are heading into there, remember to invest and grow your investments with the Zabu platforms, and that is exactly what you definitely need to kick start off your day of investing. Star 292# is the USSD code that you need to use to kick start off your investment journey and of course get it going. Zabu is a platform by Otex East Africa which says do something new, and well, with something new can you do today? Grow and invest in everything you need. Pedersen Mumbere, good morning. Many thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Sonko and everybody who is watching us wherever you are. I want to thank you for being a very good view of Smart 24.
Good to have you indeed.
Drive business.
You know, we've been here with Mr. Andrew Barije, the main man, and our discussions were rotating around movies, investment, and everything, more so in the local space.
So which movie is trending now?
Well, we were looking at the Ugandan movies. Today he was giving us a budget of a look back of the Fast and Furious movies, and so we had to relate it to the Ugandan space, and we realized our movies, our production is really low budget, and also the income generated is not that much. So it's like a Ugandan thing.
We shall reach there.
But also on the other note, which is sad and positive for the people in the alcohol business, Uganda has topped Africa in alcohol use, according to a report that has been revealed here. So
is that a blessing? Or?
It's a blessing for those in the alcohol business. I think people who sell alcohol.
It's one business you do and you're sure that you're
not going to. Yeah.
Putting up a bar is one of the sure.
The market is available.
It's available.
So the market is
all
there.
the time.
And there is revenue there. Of course.
Yeah, there is revenue. So I think it's only the World Health Organization which is saying now we are reaching a crisis level. We can't be consuming at this rate because Ugandans will consume alcohol even immediately from the time someone wakes up from bed.
See, some things are blessings.
Some even at work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can make.
So it's a Ugandan thing now.
You can make money out of something that maybe is harmful or maybe.
Exactly.
But it's okay.
So, Pedersen, a look back at the week. What do you have for us in regards to some of those business reports that have been trending?
Yesterday, I covered a press conference from these Ugandan Southern Sudan traders.
Yes.
We have a couple of traders, around 160 traders who used to make trade in Southern Sudan. And those people lost their properties during those crime insurgencies during the war, if you remember. So very many traders, especially Ugandans, lost their properties in that war. And then they have been making a lot of noise. They have been coming to the Parliament of Uganda, so looking for compensation. And the government promised them to be compensated. Yes, their money. And they are saying, all put together, they lost over $14 million.
14 million US dollars.
14 million US dollars. And that's the money that they're demanding, that they need compensation to. And if you quantify, if you change this money, the Ugandan shillings, you find that they're demanding over 52 point something billion. And this is the money that they're demanding, that they want to be compensated to. So that's where the problem is now. And now they have said that since 2010, they have made alarms and alarms, they have not given them the money. And to make matters worse, there are some companies, a few companies, who they claim belongs to the rich. For them went to government and they were compensated. Now there are these companies The small companies, of course, not big, but not for the people who are known. They have been crying up to date since 2010. Up to date, they are crying for compensation, which compensation government accepted to give them. But up to date, they have not received that money. So that was the press conference that I covered yesterday. Now that's the problem now that those people are having. I first, you see that woman there on screen.
Aye.
She was even that man, man, Buchana. Those people had, and that Buchana man was dealing in telecommunication, you get. So he lost everything in that war. Now they are saying they can't do anything. They are poor. There is nothing. And to make matters worse, they even say that Minister Kasol, that's the Minister for Microfinance, promised them money just to help them, and that money up to date has never come. You get that's the problem.
Andrew, when you look at our crisis as a country here now, traders, Sudan, South Sudan, those ones are still asking for money from government.
Well, of course, it's okay and it's a good thing to be compensated. But you see, war, there is what they call in the military language collateral damage. And sometimes, for example, if there is a wrong person in this area and is a target of an intelligence agency, and they make an assault, and in the assault, innocent people die, they are considered collateral damage. Yes. It is okay if these traders are going to be awarded. And I'm not saying that the destruction of their property is collateral damage. But in an instance, it is something to tell you that ever since the war, I think that was 2020, which year was 2010?
It's 2010, something.
The years since the war. You know, of course you get to the reality, getting to understand where you are, the continent where you are in at. That, okay, you lost everything, but if somebody comes in to support you, it is okay, but you gotta move on. There is that concept called you have to move on. What if that money doesn't come in? Does it mean the rest of their fate is determined by what they lost in the war?
You see, they lost almost everything.
I know,
Andrew. And if you come out and you say, okay, by the way, they were saying that other people from other countries, you see, Sudan had very many people. Those from Kenya, they were also trading in Southern Sudan. They compensated theirs. If country like Kenya compensated their people who lost their properties in Southern Sudan, why not Uganda? That's what they're saying. Because they call themselves the Uganda'S. We need help. We lost everything to the ashes. And if you've promised to help them, then why are you not helping us? The president promised them, I think it was the parliament, promised them 900 million.
Yes, I also think the problem is being promised. You know, when you're promised money, money is something else. When you're promised money, your mind has already switched on. So that means you're like, I'm going hard.
Because I hope they also have knowledge of the instances that are happening within the country. You know, quite money gets swindled when it's intended for its benefits.
Okay.
So once you have that mindset, you know, as a trader, it's okay to wait for what you were expecting.
Even the 50 million that Minister Kasolo promised them. The 50 million.
Okay.
Up to date, it has never.
Benson.
I think.
No,
something.
Okay. It is okay.
There's
but
a problem.
My issue here is, what if that money doesn't come in the intended time? Does it mean somebody is going to spend the rest of their life lamenting over what happened 5-8 years ago? It's what I'm trying to bring on board. You see, there is accepting. First of all, you people, we need to know the system we are into. You know, you cannot be here and start to claim the rights an American citizen has in their country. You know, it's maturity, by the way, when you come to realize that. We've seen businessmen. First of all, it's very absurd, and I feel their pain. You know, but of course, with the reality aspect, I'm not going to, you know, to imagine a fictitious aspect here that, you know, so from nowhere, if I lost these assets, I'm going to get them back. You know, there is this aspect of, okay, let me move on. Let me do what I have to do.
They were told to go to UDB Bank, because UDB is a financial institution that is helping small SMEs and other big SMEs. But they even say that the requirements that UDB wants, these people are not reaching them. So
how can they reach them when they lost?
That's the question of you and me.
You see, I think for Andrew, when you talk about collateral damage, at times we want to understand, but for the business community, any business person who will tell you, when you make losses and someone promises you a compensation,
Okay.
it is more like someone's, let it come. Because now you've put me back into the mood of getting, you don't raise my hopes.
You've set my mind.
Yes, you've set my minds. So that means in the long run, I'm now driving business on my own, but at least expecting that compensation, to get back to my feet. Because you may realize these people have been operating on losses, and government does seem like now they've forgotten them.
Because expectation, is in line with the system you're in and you're operating in.
Yes.
It will determine your degree of expectation. You know what's really happening. You know that you're not the first person to claim a compensation and you didn't get it back. So what makes you think that? That's why it's always good to know to involve yourself into the matters of your country, be it politics, be it social and economic. From that perspective, you'll know what to do when you're faced with a certain crisis.
All right, now we hope that the government will be working upon that particular issue. But I look back again. What other business story do you look at and say this week was filled up really?
Partners are doing their role to help our startups.
Yes.
Very many development partners, very many companies are coming up. Last time I saw Nile Breweries coming up to help startups. By the way, Nile Breweries came with a program called Accelerator 100 Plus program, and that program helps especially the startups. Those doing in agriculture, very many things, and they always give 370 million to a winner who is the successful applicant. You see, this is a program where you apply, you show your business mind. You see, we have a lot of youth in this country that have bankable ideas, but they lack finance, they lack capital. So that's why such companies come in to help him. You see, so Nile Breweries last time, that is 3 days back, they launched Accelerator 100 Plus to help those young people with bankable ideas to come up with big ideas and then financing them so that they start making profits out of their businesses. The man you're seeing on screen is called Kamgisha Frank. Is dealing in making tiles out of. They recycle these plastics. After recycling them, then they come up with tiles. You get, and then those tiles they start selling them not only in Uganda, but even in other countries like Kenya, like Tanzania. And according to him, they have recorded over 40% of the exports outside that. So this is what in business news we call it development financing. Companies coming up, helping young people, startups coming up with programs, and they start making business, and then in turn they start paying revenue tax to the government or something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, of course, I think the issue to do with startups is something that Ugandans are now taking up. Not only in technology, innovation, but in every other aspect, especially as a way to end the level of unemployment. That is really, really increasing.
And the startups are, by the way, we need to support them. And that's why I'm calling upon other organizations and NGOs and other companies that have the capacity to help startups to come up with let those companies help these startups to come up with big businesses. They have bankable ideas, like you say, but they lack financing. So if those companies that have reached there, they say MTN, they say UCDA, and those companies come up, help these young people come up with ideas, and there will be revenue generation, by the way. Government will make it. Because the other man I told you, Frank Kamgisha, like he said, they have even started exporting their tiles to Kenya. And the biggest part of their profits is at 140% something. 40% of the profits from the tiles. Then that means government is earning revenues out of it.
So very true.
That's very important. There's something to do in this country.
Yes, and well, of course, Petson Mumbere has been here with us, joining us to just take us through how the week has been, and obviously there are lots of things to expect in tonight's bulletin. He's working on another report, and of course, you'll have to anticipate more of the same. Looking at the weekend, Petson, your final remarks as we are winding up.
Yes, my final remarks as I'm winding up. Remember, we are in Agriculture Extension Week.
Okay.
You see, you have also agriculture is also backbone of this country. It contributes over 70% to this GDP. Uganda, you get. But the biggest problem, we still have a lot of problems when it comes to agricultural sector. These people who are dealing in agriculture are saying it's time government start thinking about extension workers in the villages. Extension workers are people employed by government to help those smallholder farmers in the villages to come up with good ideas in agriculture and boost agricultural production. And when agricultural production is boosted, then it means a lot of revenues will be generated, you get. But there are still some challenges, and this is in this Agriculture Extension Week, that's what these people have been emphasizing. Please recruit more extension workers, put them to the villages, let them help those smallholder farmers to come up with bigger agricultural production that will in turn contribute to the country's GDP.
Well, and Petson has put it out there so well, and I want to believe that you as a viewer of Smart 24 television can believe more of what Petson is putting out there in regards to agriculture and taking part in such conversations. Well, thank you very much for being part of Smart Means Business this entire week, and of course we shall be returning on Monday and to give you more business information and driving your business in all aspects of life, both locally and internationally. Today is the 26th, so that means we shall be returning on the 29th Monday to give you more of that. I've been Joram Paul Sonko, Mase Katsime, Andrew Barije, and we were joined by Petson Mumbere in the long run to discuss more of Smart Means Business. Till next week, coming up at 10 o'clock will be Financial Markets with Anthony Sebale. So stick around to Smart 24 TV. Have a good day.
Up next on Smart 24 TV.
Smart 24